Don't wish your life away, they say, don't they? Don't wish your life away. But what does that actually mean? I think don't wish your life away means different things to different people with different people's aspirations and the aspirations of the society around you on you, which I always think is taking a bit of a bloody liberty anyway. But it means different things to you if you're older, younger, whether this wishing is for wishing for spiritual gain, financial gain, power. It means so many different things. So let's chat about this as we walk through another climatically disastrous day in the northern hemisphere, generally known as summer, and enjoy what is at the moment a very cool morning, a very still morning. The birds are singing, everything is very beautiful, but the temperatures are going to go up by lunchtime. And then we will be battening down the hatches and staying in the cool. Don't wish your life away. When we're young and our future lies ahead of us, full of opportunities and horizons to aim for and aspirations to aim for, we sometimes say, I wish I could, but you can. When you're young, you can. Whatever you want to do, whether it be public success, financial success, success as a mother and a father, success in music, success in engineering, success in politics, success of just being you. You can. People say, I wish I could, but there is absolutely nothing stopping you. There may be all this pressures of society around you, but if you're willing to put your head down and go for it, success is available to everyone. Just depends what kind of success you mean, because success, for the most part, people think of success as financial success, don't they? Well, that's just one kind of success. Substitute I wish for I will, because look, success in anything isn't governed by what society tells you you should do, what any boundaries, any physical or societal boundaries against you and around you define what success is. Success, when you're young, is just fixed by a benchmark that you've put there yourself. Success is a personal thing. Success isn't being successful and having as much money as you can and getting to the top of the tree, getting to that zenith in industry. That is something completely different. That is gaining the adulation and approbation of those around you. If that is what you want and that is a benchmark that you've set yourself, then all well and good. You can consider that success. But success is just whatever you want it to be. Substitute I wish for I will, because success in anything isn't governed by societal boundaries, expectations and aspirations, governed by society around you, the size of your car, the size of your dick, the size of your bank balance. That isn't success at all. Well, not in my definition of success anyway. Success is just being, is reaching achievements, is being happy within your own skin. Success is marked by benchmarks that you set yourself, not benchmarks that are set by other people. You're being successful in other people's eyes, and does that work? It may do. If your idea of success is having everybody around you sycophants and everybody around you telling you how good you are and everybody around you showing you adulation, because you never know whether that's genuine or whether that's made up just so they can ride on your coattails through life. It's success is governed by benchmarks that you and goals that you fix yourself. for you and for no one else. And once you reach those benchmarks, you are successful. It may be very modest ones, it may be grandiose ones. So you set yourself, you're very aspirational, you're a go-getter, you set yourself a goal and you go for it, and it takes you years to get there, and eventually you do, and you're a success, and you are, because you've reached a goal that you have set yourself. Or you may be something modest. It may be just something as simple as, I will walk this, I will succeed, I will do that 10-kilometre run or that 5-kilometre fun run. And you do it, and you've set yourself that as a goal, and you do it, and you are successful. Substitute I wish for I will, because everything out there is possible, especially when you're young and fit and you've got time on your side. I wish. Saying I wish is a cop-out. Imagine being the richest, most successful man in the world at society's standards, but at the cost of friendships and love and family. You can be the richest, most successful man in the world, and you can be the loneliest, the most friendless, the one on your own with all your wealth and success. But you can also be the poorest man in the world and the richest if you're surrounded by love and people who just want to be with you because they genuinely enjoy your company and want to search you out and want to spend their valuable time with you. What a compliment that is. For somebody, when we've all got this finite amount of time here on earth, who actually wants to search you out because they think that spending time with you is a value and enriches and enhances their lives. Now that is what I see as success. Others may not, others may say rubbish. Success is financial, but that's just financial success, isn't it? But that's all down to what you want out of life. That doesn't bother me at all. I don't want that at all. I remember years ago talking to a bloke I knew, and this bloke was very, very, very successful. I'd known him for years. He came up from absolute squalor. I mean, really bad, really rough northern family. They hadn't got two halfpennies to rub together, and he ended up converting a huge farmhouse in the country and starting a business. And I worked for him for a time, and he was saying, and I remember going down one day, and there was a bloke he knew, because he judged everyone else's success on what he saw as success, which was financial success and power. And he said, he's successful, he's got this bloody big house and all these cars and he's got all this money, that's what he calls success. And I just said, I'm successful because I'm happy. It is all down to you. Everything out there, every kind of that kind of success is theoretically, hypothetically open to you. When you're young, you say, I want to be a millionaire. I wish I could be a millionaire. I wish I could have that big car. I wish I could have an aeroplane. The thing is, you can. You can. In theory, you can. If you put your head down and go for it, you can. There's no barriers. The only barrier is you, because you may have this barrier. You may get exhausted trying to get there and burn yourself out and not achieve that goal. But that's a you thing. It's actually possible. So when you're young, don't say, I wish, say, I will, because you've got the time, you've got the energy, you've got the acumen, you've got all the materials around you in life, all the opportunities, all the business opportunities. Do you hear so many tales of young people from their gutter, starting with a newspaper round and ending up running the biggest news network in the world? It can be done. These are stories that they are inspirational for a lot of people, because at the end of the day, you can say, I can do that. He did that, and that means I can do it. So a lot of inspiration to be successful is taken from anecdotal tales of people who've made success out of nothing, because they haven't said I wish. There's no such thing when you're young as I wish. It doesn't actually mean anything, because saying I wish is saying I wish I could have something that I cannot have. I wish I could live on the moon, because you can't. So that is a wish of something that cannot be fulfilled. But when you're young and when you're here and when you've got this world around you with all the opportunities, it's not I wish, it's I will. I will do that. And to not say that, to say, no, I'm not bothered, I don't want that, that doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean you're a failure at all, because if you're happy in your own skin, if you're happy with the family around you and the life around you and the friends around you and the work you do and the countryside around you, you are just as much a success, because it's a personal thing, isn't it? You set your benchmark. I set my benchmark low, not because I'm lazy or anything like, or I didn't think I had the capabilities or the wherewithal to be successful. I just got my feeling of success out of things that were already there and things that were fairly easily attainable, just like being out here, being happy, being in a good peace of mind. That is success to me. And I got there a long time ago. So I think I've been successful for a long, long time. Because this for me, this around me, is what I want, where I want to be, what I want to experience for the rest of my life. To look across here now, behind me, look, the sun early in the morning coming up, those shadows between the trees over there, that gives me an absolute feeling of wonder and its beauty. It's like an oil painting, and I stand here and look at that, and that thrill is what I want. That thrill is the success, the benchmark I've set myself. So it's all about you. If you want to go high, set your benchmark high, but don't say I wish, say I will. Because I wish is almost accepting failure, isn't it? I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. Well, you can. You're only saying I wish because you can't be bothered. You've not got the will, the fortitude, the strength of mind, the strength of character to get out there and go for it. And then the people who get out there and go for it are rebuked and called names by the people who haven't got the wherewithal to go out and get there and do it. It's jealousy. So if you define a wish as something that is attainable within your own capabilities and within that benchmark that you've set yourself, it really isn't a wish at all, is it? Because a wish is defined as a strong desire for something to have or to happen. So a wish is only a wish until you work up the fortitude, the strength, the time, the resolve to actually do it. And then it doesn't become a wish, it goes from a wish to a goal. I wish, I will. And then you do. And then you reach success, no matter how it's defined. Society defines success for many of us, doesn't it? Because success sets those benchmarks, the yardsticks of life. He's successful because he's an actor. What's that got to do with anything? He's successful because he talks other people's words. All that means is he gets paid a lot of money. And that's only successful is that how you define success as financial success, financial gain? Or do you define it as being happy and content in life? Because you do find a lot of people who are in, say, the acting world or something like that, and they have huge expectations put on them by the public. They're in the public eye. Everything they do is cross-examined by the public, by the peers, by the press, by everyone who put them there in the first place, because we put you there in the first place, ergo you have to live by our standards of what your success is. And with that brings all sorts of problems as well. And this is why you see a lot of people defined as successful by society as the ones who suffer mental illness, pressure, suicide, breakdowns, familial breakdowns, marriage breakdowns, friendship breakdowns, highs and lows, peaks and troughs in society, a roller coaster of emotions. Is that success? Or is this success? Walking at 1 mile an hour on a beautiful morning with the sun to my right, coming through the trees, throwing long shadows in this emerald green grass that isn't moving at all, and I can hear the bird song in the trees over to my right. And I'm happy, and I'm content, and I'm looking forward to the day. Another day with Molly, doing whatever, we don't know. Staying out here as long as we possibly can to just bathe in this beauty that gives me such a rush and makes me so happy that all I can say is, I'm successful. I don't need to wish this. There's no way I need to have to wish this. I don't need to get up in the morning and say, I wish I could be out in the countryside, because all I need to do is get out in the countryside. That is not a wish. A wish is something that is unattainable. I wish I could do that, but I know I cannot do that. That is a wish. And that means when people say don't wish your life away, what they mean is don't cry over spilt milk. Don't cry over the need, the want for something that you know is unattainable. I wish I could go to Mars. It's not going to happen. I wish I could swim across the Atlantic. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So wish, actually, when you think about it, wishing is completely futile, isn't it? Wishing is completely non-productive. Wishing is just spending emotions and time and brain power on something that at the end of the day, you wish about it for a few minutes and then it goes away, and all you've done is wasted a few minutes there, because nothing's ever going to come of it. Nothing's ever come of that wish, because by definition, if it's a wish, it's going to end in disappointment because you're not going to be able to do it. If it's a goal, then you can do it. I wish, I will get up in the morning and say, I will do this, I will be successful, I will make all that money, I will be happy. And I will take every day as a baby step, every day is a step towards it. It may be a long road for you that takes most of your life, or it may be just a case of getting in the car and driving 2 miles into an area that just gives you peace and happiness and just makes you feel like this is what my life has come to, and at all the ups and downs, it's worth it for this. I've got everything I want. The countryside, my little companion, the sun in the sky, the blue of the sky, the birds above me, and I'd be able to attain that in 10 minutes, where you may have set a goal that takes you the rest of your life, but there's no right and there's no wrong. You go for it because you can. It's a goal, not a wish. Is anyone still with me, or have you all gone off to find videos about Karens being humiliated in McDonald's? I wish I could lose weight. I wish I could buy that car. I wish I could go on that holiday. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. Every one of those is attainable, so it's not a wish. You just turn that wish, flip it on its head. Flip that wish onto its head and make it a goal. I will. It's only like 2 letters different, isn't there? Substitute the SH for the double L, and then I wish goes from I wish to I will. And then you have to start that journey, don't you? Because then that takes a little bit of fortitude, doesn't it? I wish I will. It's the I will bit that's difficult. But it's like when you go running, and it's always difficult to step out of the door. But once you step out of the door and start running, it all becomes worthwhile. You start getting that buzz out of it. And that is another thing. Turning that wish into I will is then the difficult part then is to start that journey, is to take that first step. But as soon as you do, you get that buzz. You almost get those endorphins rushing through your system, putting a smile on your face every time you work along that journey. Because if you go on that journey and you are making headway, then that gives you more determination, more fortitude to do it. So basically, being a success in anything you want to do in life, be it a great achievement or just something simple, starts with that first step. And it's all about taking that first step. It's all about doing it. But once you're on that journey, that's when it becomes enjoyable. So whatever goal you're going for, if you can get the grit and the determination to press on through the initial stages that might be difficult, not only is it achieving at the end of the day, achieving your success, the success you want, it also turns into an enjoyable way to spend your life. That short period we've got here on earth, that 80 years roundabout, it's a good way. If you're enjoying it, it's a good way. If you stumble at any hurdle along the way and you don't reach that pinnacle, that goal, in a way you can pat yourself on the head and call yourself successful because you have managed what you can. You've managed as much as you can. You've got as far as you can. And if you've done that, you're a success. That's it, simple. Being a success is so simple in life, depending on how high you set that bar. So don't wish for anything. Because if you wish, you're actually telling yourself a lie, aren't you? If you wish for anything that is actually attainable, and everything is, if you wish for something and then don't get there, but get as far as you possibly could along that journey, then in my opinion, that's success, because you've gone as far as you can. Now, in old age, I wish takes on a different, a truer, a more tragic definition, because I wish is the cry of someone who has reached an age where they have wanted to do something, they've never achieved that goal, and now time is running out. I wish really does mean I wish, because you're wishing for something that you can't achieve. I wish but my body won't do it. I've not got the time. I look back and think, I wish I'd done that when I was younger, because it isn't attainable anymore. It isn't a goal. It can never be a goal. You may try and you may reach a point in along the way, but you can still treat that as success, but only so much, because it's a success you cannot attain now, but the opportunities were there along your life, along the way, and you never took them. And now it's too late, because you're never going to climb Everest. You're never going to win the Tour de France. You've not got time to build up a corporate empire. So that really is the true definition of I wish. The wishing for something that you've left too long, too late. We've been there, I've been there, of course I have. And sometimes I still go there in a little way. But at least I can brush them off, because I just haven't got the patience, and I lose interest in things very, very quickly. So I can think, I wish, and then within a minute it's gone and I've forgotten. And if you ask me what were you wishing for, I wouldn't know, because it's just something that went through my mind a few minutes ago. But I wish in older age. That's tragic, because you know you can't, and it means that you have to live the rest of your life, whatever time you've got left here, knowing that I can't. I wish I had. And it can eat away at you. I wish. And how many people, and I think older people know exactly what I'm saying, it can eat away at you. I wish I'd done that. Oh, I wish I'd done that when I was younger. And the worst part of that is that you realise that you could have done it. It is something that you could have done. It's a goal that you could have achieved. But now it's too late, because time's running out. Your body isn't as strong as it was. And you're just never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But the sad thing is that you have to live the years you've got left with this coming up. Every so often, I wish, oh, I wish. And that's the true wish. So wish is a very tragic emotion, really, when you think about it. Wishing for something you can't have. Wishing for something you can't have when you're younger. Wishing I could go to the moon, which you actually know is unattainable. I wish I could, but at the back of your mind, you've got the consolation of knowing that you can't. Nobody can. So it's just like, so basically you might as well say it would be nice too. But you wish, knowing that it's unattainable, and that's some consolation. But in older age, that wish is wishing for something that is no longer attainable, but was attainable. So wish is a very, very tragic emotion. Wish in its truest form is such a tragic emotion. It's sad, it's painful, it's awful, isn't it? It should be struck from the lexicon of life, because it brings nothing but tears and heartbreak and melancholy and thinking about what could be, what could have been. Is a bloody awful emotion, isn't it? It can take over your life, it can take over your mind and your emotions. These are the things that drive you into sitting in the armchair all day and achieving nothing in old age. This is where people who sit there and just die, because they're sitting there thinking, I wish I'd done that. And then it becomes all consuming, because you try to rebuild the scenario of success in your mind, don't you? You try to think, if I could have been doing this, and you picture yourself in the position you would have been in if you'd done those things when you were younger. I wish. It's tragic. It's awfully tragic. It's bereavement, isn't it? It's grief, it's bereavement for something that could have been and is now lost, but it's there at the back of your mind because you've got the memory of being young, of being in a position where you could have attained that success. Try not to be there, try not to be that person. Set goals at attainable levels so that whenever you say, I wish, you're actually making a mistake. You're using the wrong word. Shut up. Just say, I will, or I can. Because you can. And you will. If you just set your mind to it. Because once you say that, I will, then it's all down to you, isn't it? You've set yourself that goal. It's all down to you then, just to roll your sleeves up and get on with it. Get on with reaching that success no matter what it is. Because it's different to everybody, isn't it? Success for one person isn't success for another person. So financial success for one person, somebody else may not want to achieve financial success because they find success in the simpler things in life that don't cost money, so they don't need that money. So therefore their success is based on something else, because I think everybody in the world has to have something to achieve, something to aim for. So everybody has a goal, and that goal may be something completely simple, or that goal may be something that takes years and years and the rest of your life to achieve and attain. But don't wish your life away. By that I mean don't sit and brood on things that can never be, could never be, will never be, because that is a complete waste of this life that you've been so fortunate to being gifted. Isn't it? I wish Molly hadn't gone blind and deaf so quickly. I wish our time here together wasn't running out so quickly. But that's just life. That is something you can wish for, because that is completely unattainable too, because that's part of life. So wishing for something that we cannot change because it's just an inevitable part of life. We can grieve over it, but can't wish it away, can we? We can't wish for a different outcome. Wish is a very, very tragic emotion, isn't it? Probably one of the most tragic. We use the phrase I wish so easily because it's just like a conjunction, isn't it? It's just a useful phrase to keep conversation going, and there are many phrases and words in the English language, or your language in fact, that we use just as conjunctions, as ways to just connect two different sentences, two different emotions, two different subjects, and we use it, and the language is full of these absolutely useless, significant phrases and words. I wish is such a powerful, tragic emotion, an emotion of regret, of grief, of grieving for something that you can't have, you could have had at some time, but now it's too late and you have to live the last of your life knowing that that is something you cannot do and you wish you could, and you will take that grieving to your grave. And yet we use it willy-nilly, we just throw it into conversations, and there are many words like this. It's just a good job they are insignificant, isn't it? Or else conversation itself would be more of a roller coaster of emotions if every time we just threw in a phrase like I wish, just to join two subjects together, or to make a point, or to emphasize something. Our emotions would go on a roller coaster. The English language is fabulous. I wish I could use it for another 40 years. But I can't. That was good, wasn't it? What a lovely morning we were having, chatting to you lot. I enjoyed that. It may have made no sense at all, but it was just one of my early morning ramblings. Thanks for joining us on our early morning rambling, and we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.